everybody, we're up and going here at The Whole Message, where we teach you the intelligent information that you need to live a healthier life. And of course, Melody's getting a lot of texts ever since we started putting that phone number up there to text you. But I get quite a few emails too. So I've got a couple emails here, and Amy is asking the question. She wants one-pot meal recipes.
Oh, wow.
So I'll have to text her a couple of recipes for her. But do you have any good one-pot? You know.
I've got several. You know, I still like my old cast iron skillets. Do you like the old cast iron skillets?
Yeah, they're fun.
You know, you can make so much in them, and you can cook them on the stove and then shove them in the oven. I know there's a lot of stainless ware out there that does the same thing. I don't use aluminum. But I make chilies, I make rice dishes, casseroles, one-pot meals. And I mean, you can usually get your carb, like your rice or your polenta. You can get your beans, your seasoning. I love Mexican food, and I love Italian food. You can do that in one pot.
You missed our one-pot meal this weekend because you went to your kid's house, and we
did
had,
you make?
I did a chicken pot pie with the puff pastry dough on the top, and if I can find that clip, we'll air it. But it's on my YouTube, and you can just pack your skillet with everything, or you know, even the iron skillet with whatever vegetables you want, potatoes and carrots and beans and corn and everything. Put a little chicken seasoning in there, thicken it up with cornstarch, make it really thick too, like a chicken stew. And we use soy curls. We use Butler soy curls.
Okay.
And then I covered the entire top with puff pastry and threw it in the oven for a half hour, and it was done. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it
now,
was good.
If you don't use the arrowroot or cornstarch, could you use like mashed potatoes, instant potatoes or something?
You can.
You like the
it might get a little
cornstarch
starchy,
better.
gritty type of feel to it, but I
love
use that
pot
for
pie.
thickeners for like split pea soups and potato soups and stuff.
I can remember when I used to buy pot pies at one of the chicken places until I found out that there were over 800 calories.
And high sodium too.
High sodium and high fat for one pot pie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. They're horrible.
So that would be a lot less.
Is
fat
that where they
too.
came up with that song? Chicken pot pie and I don't care. Chicken pot pie and I don't care. Because they don't care what they eat, or
I don't. I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah.
Are you sure that's the words?
Yeah. Chicken. Oh no, it's Jimmy Crack Corn. Okay, different. All together. I was thinking it was the chicken pot pie, and I don't care.
We're going to go in the kitchen. We're going to go cook something in the kitchen. We'll be right back.
Let's do that.
Chicken pot pie, and I don't care.
Hey, back again to do a little more research, intelligent research on the internet to discover why we need to eat a healthier life. And as I talk about different things, you know, I just hope you understand that I just have a passion to get you the information that you need to live a healthier life. And sometimes I take a lot of homework getting these things organized for you. Other times it's a really simple no-brainer. And today there's a really good one here because this is actually from HuffPost. There's a lot of interesting articles there. And sometimes, you know, these newspapers and things, they just get articles and just throw them up there. They'll get articles from 400 different companies, and they just keep throwing up articles, and sometimes they don't even read them. They'll skim through them and say, hey, okay, it looks pretty good, let's put it up there. Just because they just want traffic to sell you all these other things and advertisements. But anyway, this one I thought was pretty interesting because it says, new study, plant-based diets benefit cancer survivors. Well, I've known this all along. But you always wonder what it's about. But then I saw Neil Bernard's name, and then, you see Dr. Neil Bernard. It's like, okay, somebody I can trust because I know that this man does his homework. And so I want to share with you here real quick. This is kind of interesting here. Cancer survivors can get real benefit from leafy greens and whole grains, according to a new study in the journal Cancer. It is the same advice I've been recommending for years in my book, The Cancer Survivor's Guide. Eat a plant-based diet and avoid meats and dairy products to reduce your risk of cancer and cancer reoccurrence. Now, I love this name, Fang Fang Zhang, medical doctor and PhD. Fang Fang Zhang. I hope we hear more about this guy because that just the name alone is a real attention getter. The new study lead author says that dietary changes that include more fiber fruits and vegetables in the diet and less fat, sodium, and added sugar would be important for cancer survivors. And Dr. Zhang's advice reflects recommendations my colleagues and I recently made in the Journal of American College of Nutrition. So that's what that is. And there's some 6 recommendations, but right here, let me see. This has a go-to to read the recommendations. Let's go right to the source. PCRM, that's the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine. So let's just click right over there and go right to the source of the article. And by the way, this is a really good website to go to, this Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, because it just has so much valuable information. And these guys really do their homework. So Physicians Committee, Responsible Medicine. Research continues to show time and time again that plant-based foods reduce the risk of cancer and strengthen the chance of survival after diagnosis. And while more research is needed in this area, we have a set of 6 precautionary principles to reduce the risk of occurrence. And number 1, avoid dairy products. No-brainer. Number 2, limit or avoid alcohol, and I would stick to avoiding alcohol. Nothing good comes from alcohol. It really doesn't, and it's pointless. Just eliminate it. Number 3, avoid red and processed meats. That's reducing risk of colorectal cancers. Here we go. Avoid grilled, fried, and broiled meats. And which is really important because there's a lot of fats involved in that, and then there's the carcinogenic effects that come from burning food. So that's something we should look at that sometime too and show you all about that. Number 5, women should consume soy products. Should consume soy products in adolescence. Look at this. Cancer prevention. Everybody's saying stay away from soy, staying away from soy. Because soy is a cancer preventer. And if you don't have cancer, you're not having to spend millions of dollars with the pharmaceutical companies and these doctors who treat cancers. Soybeans is one of the number 1 cancer preventers, and you can use it every day. We've talked about that. Eat more soy products. And get the organic non-GMO if you're paranoid about, it's all, genetically modified. I get organic non-GMO. It's not that much more expensive. Eat a diet rich in fruits and vegetables. So there you go. And here's a nice chart that I wanted to share with you. This is where it really gets interesting. And let's see if I can blow this up a little bit more for you here. So here's the chart. And what this is your daily intake right here. And is it going to decrease your risk of cancers, or is it going to increase your risk of cancers? 2 glasses of milk a day increases the risk of prostate cancers by 60%. 2 glasses a day, you've got really good odds of getting prostate cancer. 35 grams of dairy protein a day increases your risk of prostate cancer by 32%. 400 milligram calcium supplements. Here, check this one out. Calcium supplements that society's always saying you need more calcium, need more calcium. Now people are going and getting calcium supplements, and it increases your risk of prostate cancer by 51%. Ouch. Let me tell you, nobody's ever going to have a problem not getting enough calcium. Okay? It just doesn't happen. And especially if you're eating those greens. I mean, I know every person's body is a little bit different, and there might be one isolated case in the whole country that is not getting enough calcium. But, if you're eating healthy, if you're eating a healthy lifestyle, you're never going to have a problem not getting enough calcium. And here you go, 400 milligrams calcium supplements, which a lot of people are taking, increases your risk of prostate cancer by 51%. Alcohol increases your colorectal cancer by 21%. Processed meats increases your colorectal cancer alone by 21%, and red meat by 28%. So you can go on the increase or you can go on the decrease. So let's look at your vegetables and your Plant Strong here. All your Plant Strong actually decreases your odds of getting cancer, your risk, up to 30% here. Even tomato products. So here we go on the bottom. Western diet, you got a 200% increasing risk of getting cancers. But if you're living a healthier lifestyle, you have a 30% decrease. So this is what it's all about. Do you want to live a healthier life, or would you rather live at a higher risk of getting cancer? And let me tell you, a lot of people don't think about it when they don't have cancer. But I guarantee you, every single person who gets cancer looks back at their life and they say, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done this. Well, I'm telling you, that coulda, woulda, shoulda doesn't do you any good after the fact. And I would much rather see the prevention, so you never have to face that type of predicament. And, it's all a matter of healthy eating, healthy lifestyle. Focus on those fresh fruits and vegetables, those grains, those oats, the soy products. Whole natural foods is the best. Stick to those whole natural foods, Plant Strong. Eliminate the dairy, eliminate the animal products, eliminate the fishes and the eggs. Just do an elimination, eliminate the alcohol, and you're going to live a healthier, more vibrant life. And let me tell you, I am a complete reversal. I used to eat that lifestyle every day of my life, and I would never go back to what I was doing. And you never know, I may get cancer next week. I lived an extremely unhealthy life, for 40 years, but the last 10 years, I've been living that healthy life. So take those steps. You'll be glad you did. And we'll see you next time. Potato cakes.
Here.
I mean, what did you hand this to me for anyway?
It was over here. And
okay.
I was thinking you were going to need it over there.
I had to check myself or something anyway. Hey, we're back in the kitchen.
If you could do that, use Pam under the armpits. It'd be better than deodorant.
It probably has better than the chemicals if it's just olive oil or something. Yeah.
That's true.
Yes, we're back. And
yes, we are. What are we doing?
Doing some potato cakes, pancakes. This right here is just some leftover boiled potatoes, and I just turn them into hash browns.
All right.
And in fact, I think I'm going to have you mix everything else in that one. I got ahead of myself, didn't I? Well, it'll work either way. It will work either way. Put all these ingredients in here.
All of it? Do you want the whole thing?
We're just going to mix this baby up.
You want everything? Empty. Yeah,
why not? So we've got some flour. And I see you grab the gluten-free flour because she wants to try it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Folks, I would eat wheat. It's not that I don't like it. It just doesn't like me. Mm-hmm. But finding out that I can try, Costco right now, Mark, has an amazing ancient grain gluten-free bread. I've tried it and it doesn't bother me. So it's been proven, and they did a study at the Mayo Clinic about it, that they feel like a lot of this sensitivity to wheat and gluten that people are having, since it wasn't a problem before the 1950s or late 1950s, is genetic modification and all these pesticides.
I wouldn't doubt it. Okay, now I did add a little water to it. I just wanted to soften it up a little bit.
You want to soften it?
A little too dry. So we've got peppers in here. We've got two different types of onions, red and green. Mm-hmm. We've got the flour, and then we did some ground flaxseed and water.
And I know you're not whipping that. You're more folding it in because you want to keep the consistency of your hash browns right.
But that
now,
looks pretty
are
good,
you putting any of the salt, garlic, onion?
Yes. Salt. I got some chunks in there, though.
You know what? That's Himalayan, and it's been ground up, so it does stick together a little bit. Garlic. Onion.
Of course, you've got onion in here already, but there's a difference between the powdered onions and raw onions.
That's true, yes.
In fact, technically, there's 5 different flavors to an onion. We've talked about this before. Officially, 5 different flavors of an onion. You have raw, translucent, golden, brown, and dark brown. So,
yes.
And if the recipe says use golden onions, you either need to saute it or bake it off till it gets that golden coloring because it's completely different flavors. And then the powders taste totally different too. So yeah, it's really cool. I love onions, the way they just have such variety of flavor. Okay, so for potato pancakes, normally you're gonna have a hot pan. That's just what they do in the gourmet restaurants for potato pancakes. And you are just gonna put those pancakes in there just like this. And I think I'll just get 3 or 4 going here.
And you're not going to move them around. You're going to let them sit there.
They are just going to, right. And so we'll do 4 of them here. And they're supposed to be a little sloppy on the sides. That's just what they do. You don't want them looking all perfect. So what do you think? Something like that should do.
I think that looks good. Now, Mark, if I wanted to really watch my oil and cut down on that, can we cook them in the oven, do you think? Is there a way that we
Let's
could
try
do
it. I've got a pan here. You can just hit it with some parchment paper and let's try a couple different sizes too. See what you come up with there. Melody wants to experiment.
Melody's always experimenting. You know what though, Mark? How else do you... I've come up with some of my greatest, I think, recipes by just making mistakes off of an original recipe. You know what I'm saying?
Now, normally the regular potato pancakes is not going to have all the vegetables in it.
Right.
It will just have the spices, and then they usually serve it with like an applesauce or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, for a little dipping type of thing.
Hand me some Pam. I want to spray just a little bit on here. Or your deodorant, whichever. All right, and so I just want to get...
I don't wear deodorant.
I don't either.
I don't. You'll find out interesting. People that eat healthy don't
have...
stink like people that
Now,
eat all that grease
Mark,
and animal fat.
When my diet was bad, I used deodorant. And I needed it,
Yeah,
but I don't
yeah, me too.
perspire like that anymore. And if I do use anything, it's like a liquid rock. Because I don't want aluminum products, you know. And you know, this is something I thought
I love it. I think this is going to work out perfect.
The armpit, okay, it releases toxins from the body. So if you stop that process, where are those toxins going?
I don't know.
Think about that.
Could be going to the brain, making it so you can't think right.
Maybe.
You're all polluted by toxins. Okay, looks like you're going to get 6. And
And I'm going to go pop these in the oven real
what do you
quick.
think, 6?
I think this is good.
Okay.
You know, I could see a great ketchup with that.
These are going to have to go a little bit longer,
Sure.
but this one looks like it's kind of browning on the back. Yeah, see, it's going to have to go a little bit longer.
Yeah.
So let's get these cooked up. We'll get
Okay.
those out of the oven, and then we'll come back and show you the fabulous finished product that we just created out of nothing.
I understand now why they call them potato pancakes.
Why do they call them potato? Why,
Blah, blah,
are
blah.
we supposed to do a retake? Why? Why did they go? That's a tough one. Why do they call them potato pancakes?
Because you fry them in a pan.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Simple.
And you can see where it's crispy too.
Yeah, I like
They
this.
always
I like
did
the
it on
look
a
of them.
hot oven, and you got a blackening type of browning action going on.
Now we
okay.
had some that we add in the hot oven.
In the oven, okay.
Yes.
And if you want, you can grab another plate there. And these are right out of the oven too, so they're a little on the toasty side.
How did they do on the back side?
Look at the differences.
Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, because these have no oil.
Sometimes they will be cooked more on the bottom, right? Like
Sometimes
you're thinking, right?
yeah. Is that whether it's on the top of the rack or on the
Yeah.
bottom? We don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice,
But,
nice. Like the way they look. So these are without oil, and these were fried with oil.
Right.
You know, Mark.
Texture-wise, I don't think it's worth the extra calories and fat.
I don't either. I don't either.
More carcinogenic too when you get up to those higher temperatures.
Sure.
So.
And I'll tell you something else about this. Make a lot. Double, triple your recipe, I think. Put it in the freezer and just pop them in the toaster.
Oh, we have got to try that.
Seriously.
What a great idea.
I mean, why not? Mom's in a hurry.
Oh,
She's
man.
working, got kids off to school.
We should make them a little bit bigger then.
Square?
Try this at home. I want to hear from you. and find out how well this works for you. And make them so they fit in the toaster, freeze them.
Just pop them in.
When they're frozen
Right.
or when they're thawed. We'll have to double check on that
Double
too,
check it.
because some things frozen, some things thawed. Wow, I love it.
Yeah,
Love it.
simplicity.
Now I do have some sour cream,
I've seen that.
and then I did a little of this peach ginger fruit,
Okay.
which I love this. It actually says
No pectin. Oh dear, God forbid.
Pectin everywhere. I've been telling people this for years now, and everybody's like, "You're crazy." I said, "You watch. Pectin free is going to go like crazy all over the country, and nobody's even heard about it right now. But you're going to remember when we said this. We've been saying it for years now.
A long time.
And pectin free. That means you cannot eat fruit anymore.
Yeah, I guess fruit's no good, but it's okay for pizza to be a vegetable on
Right.
kids' menu.
Right. See, Satan wants you to be unhealthy. And our job is to bring out the truth and the realities of what's really going on out there, show you the deceptions, and really show you how to get healthy and how to live as healthy as we are, even at our age. You know, so it really is
Our
a benefit.
age.
But
I'm young. I wake up in the morning and I don't have any creaks or whatever, you know. Sometimes my knee does that. It's like, I told my husband the other day, I said, "Do you hear that clicking? It's my knee." And we just laughed about it. Now this is the tofutti sour cream.
yeah, sour cream is really good because it's a potato.
Oh yeah,
Right.
good idea.
Usually sour cream or applesauce is what we do in restaurants. But,
Have you
go.
tried this yet?
I have. It's really good.
You like it?
I don't know if you're going to like it, though. It's kind of a gingery. You're not a big ginger fan.
No, I'm not a ginger fan, am I?
You want to try it?
Yeah. You know what they call a redhead
Here
when
you go.
she's mad,
No, I'm
don't
kidding.
you?
I'm just messing with you.
A redhead when she's mad is a ginger snap.
I wasn't going to give you that much.
Well, I want to try it first.
Okay. We'll give you a little.
I love a good fruit spread. I think it's good.
It's different. But it's unique. That means stick with the applesauce.
Peach. I
And
just
ginger.
I just don't care for maybe a little ginger in some Asian food, but I'm not a ginger girl, not at all.
Not for a cold.
You know what ginger is good for though? Bad breath. You can use ginger for bad
I
breath.
can tell already. It works.
I brush my teeth all the time. That's not true.
Yeah. People
Anyway.
that eat healthy don't have bad breath.
I think we're going to let you go and invite you to come back into the kitchen with Mark and Melody. Well, we're going to have something crazy to cook, or maybe even some really good ideas
Give
that
you
you can incorporate.
Concepts.
That's exactly right. But come join us next time.
1 in 1,000. Ending the heart disease epidemic. That's the title of Michael Greger's video for today. And let me tell you, it is a heart disease epidemic out there. It's the #1 killer on the planet. And so let's see what the doctor has to say today.
This is a list of diseases commonly found here and in populations that eat and live like the U.S., but were rare or even non-existent in populations eating diets centered around whole plant foods. These are among our most common diseases, like obesity, hiatal hernia, one of the most common stomach problems, hemorrhoids and varicose veins, the most common venous problems, colorectal cancer, the #2 cause of cancer death, diverticulosis, the #1 disease of the intestine, appendicitis, the #1 cause of emergency abdominal surgery, gallbladder disease, the #1 cause for non-emergency abdominal surgery, and ischemic heart disease, the commonest cause of death here, but a rarity in plant-based populations. This landmark study suggesting that coronary heart disease was practically non-existent among those eating traditional plant-based diets in Africa claimed that there was adequate autopsy evidence to confirm that fact. Let's look at it. Doctors in sub-Saharan Africa during the 30s and 40s recognized that certain diseases commonly met in Western communities were rare in rural African peasants. This hearsay talk greeted any new doctor on arrival in Africa. Even the teaching manual stated that diabetes, coronary heart disease, appendicitis, peptic ulcers, gallstones, hemorrhoids, and constipation were rare in African blacks who eat foods that contain many skins and fibers, such as beans and corn, and effortlessly pass a bulky stool 2 or 3 times a day. Surgeons noticed that the common acute abdominal emergencies like appendicitis in Western communities were virtually absent in rural African peasants. But do we have hard data to back that up? Yes. Major autopsy series were performed. First 1,000 Kenyan autopsies. Not a single case of appendicitis. Not a single heart attack. 3 diabetics out of 1,000, 1 peptic ulcer, no gallstones, and no evidence of high blood pressure, which alone affects 1 out of 3 Americans. Maybe the Africans were just dying early of other diseases and so never lived long enough to get heart disease? No. Here's age-matched heart attack rates in Uganda versus St. Louis. Out of 632 autopsies in Uganda, 1 myocardial infarction. Out of 632 Missourians, same age and gender distribution, 136 myocardial infarctions, right? More than 100 times the rate of our #1 killer. In fact, they were so blown away, they did another 800 autopsies in Uganda, and still, just that 1 small healed infarct, meaning it wasn't even the cause of death, out of 1,427 patients, less than 1 in 1,000, whereas in the U.S., it's an epidemic. How do the doctors even know what to look for over there, then? Though practically unheard of among the native population, the physicians are quite familiar with heart disease because of all the folks that immigrate to the countries in Africa. The famous surgeon, Dr. Burkitt, insisted that modern medicine is going about it all wrong. A highly unacceptable fact that is rarely considered yet indisputable is that with rare exceptions there is no evidence that the incidence of any disease was ever reduced by treatment. Improved therapies may reduce mortality, but may not reduce the incidence of the disease. Right? Understand what he's saying? Take cancer, for example. The vast majority of effort is devoted to advances in treatment. Second priority given to screening programs attempting early diagnosis. But is there any evidence that the incidence of any form of cancer has ever been reduced by improved treatment or early detection? Early diagnosis may reduce mortality rates, and medical services can certainly profoundly benefit sick people, but have little, if any, effect on the number of people becoming ill in the first place. No matter how fancy heart disease surgery gets, it's never going to reduce the number of people falling victim to the disease. He compares it to an engine left out in the rain. Right? If an engine repeatedly stops as a consequence of being exposed to the elements, it is of limited value to rely on the aid of mechanics to detect and remedy the fault. Examination of all engines would reveal that those out in the rain were stopping, but those under cover were running well, so the correct approach would then be to provide protection from the offending environment. However, considering the failing engine as the ailing patient, this is seldom the priority of modern medicine. He sums it up with the cliff or the ambulance. If people are falling over the edge of a cliff and sustaining injuries, the problem could be dealt with by stationing ambulances at the bottom or erecting a fence at the top. Unfortunately, we put way too much effort into the provision of ambulances and far too little into the simple approach of erecting fences. And then, of course, there are all the industries enticing people to the edge and profiting from pushing people off.
Oh man, the world we live in. You know, we're not even looking at the science facts from all these other countries that have relatively no heart disease whatsoever. I mean, less than 1 in 1,000 compared to here in America, which is running over 50%, and all because of our diet. Majority, diet and exercise, but mostly because of diet. And, you know, how can you ignore all these facts? And And like the doctor was saying, our focus is all on treatment and early detection. And treatment and early detection is never going to eliminate the amount of cases coming to the surface. You have to do prevention. You have to teach prevention. You have to do these things. The government's not going to do it. The pharmaceutical companies are not going to do it. The universities have yet to do it because they're all in bed together. And this is a multi-billion, trillion, billion, gazillion dollar industry nowadays. And I'm telling you that there is so much science and there's so much proof out there that living a plant-strong lifestyle, and I'm not even saying plant-strong, eliminating animal products completely is the most successful way to live that healthy life. Some people think plant strong means you can go 80% plant strong and only 20% meats. Well, if you do that, you're still going to have 20% of the problems, even more. It's like, I guess for diabetics, would it be okay to just chop off 2 toes instead of your entire foot? That's what moderation does. I do things in moderation. Well, we're moderately only going to chop off 2 of your toes. Since your diabetic problems is not quite as problematic as other people, but this is the thought process. And let me tell you, do yourself a favor and live a healthier life. You are going to be so thankful you did. I can't believe I used to eat the way I used to eat, and I have never felt better my entire life. I have more energy now than I did back when I was in my 20s, and it's all because God gifted me. He showed me a healthier way to live, and that's my passion, is to share with you, what God has shared with me, because I might not even be here today if it wasn't for the transformation of my health and changing the way I eat. And I have a passion to do the same thing for you. And so it's time to get off that couch, go take those steps, learn more about what it takes to live a healthier life, and you too will be as thankful as me. So you be blessed, and we'll see you next time.
What do we got here?
Hey, Melody, I just got these samples from Kim's Simple Meals. So we are testing them out, and we're going to give you the results. And we've never used them before. They say they're simple, but
we're testing it.
I'd like to find out.
We want to not only make sure they're simple, but we want them to taste delicious. And these are non-GMO, gluten-free, vegan.
I know, kosher, non-dairy. Yeah, so
what is
it's
the calories?
USDA organic too.
What are the ingredients? I'm sorry, calories.
60.
And for how many patties?
Calories from fat is 10. It says 12 patties, but we're going to see.
Okay.
Because a lot of times I make bigger portions.
All right, and what I need to do
just
is...
the contents with 2 cups of hot water.
Okay.
Now, it's definitely simple. They got the right name for that. I love testing other people's products.
I do
Because if
too.
we don't like them, we're going to tell you. It's nice to get professional chefs that can test some of these. And mostly it's for convenience, isn't it?
Sure
a lot of things like this, in this busy lifestyle we live, it's a way to do it.
It is. Is it as cost effective as doing it yourself at home? Taking the oats, putting the ingredients in, put them in the oven. Because when I make sausages at home, I make 50, 80 sausages at a time. And it's extremely inexpensive.
So it looks like this is going to have to rest till it thickens up, just like the burger one. And then we will patty it up, put it in the oven, and come back with the finished product.
Sure. Well, Mark, I found a pretty plate. Now I think we need to put something on it.
You need some food to put on it.
Let's
grab that sausage.
Wow.
There we go. Because it's hot, isn't it?
It is hot.
I'm grabbing the pieces. Now what we did was these went in the oven for about 10 or 12 minutes. Then I flipped them over and let them go for another 10 to 12 minutes. And that's about how much time it took.
Hot.
So there you go, just like that. What do you think? What do you think? Well, it looks just like sausage.
I like the texture, so I'd give it an A for texture. Not bad.
Yeah. Be a good breakfast sausage.
I think it would.
Oh,
A
wait.
little white gravy.
It is breakfast sausage.
A little white gravy. Biscuits and gravy.
Let me grab that box.
Okay.
Not going to leave you offset here, but
It's all right. I can handle it.
Kim Simple Meals. I love testing other people's food and see how it stands the test. In fact, we should actually put reports on our website, don't you think?
Foodreports.com.
I think you should send us whatever food you want us to test that's manufactured, and we will put it to the test. We will tell you the quality, the flavor, the portion,
Simplicity.
the price, the simplicity, the health element, the everything right down the line. We could do that. That would be nice to grade every single thing.
You know, this is less. This is about 15 to 16 fat calories per serving, and 2 patties is 60, so you get 30 calories a patty. That's pretty good.
We need to get her on the show with some of her
Yes.
home recipes.
Oh,
It'll be fun.
what a good idea. What a good idea.
Portion-wise, servings per container is 12. I would say servings per container is 6, and have 2 patties for a portion. But that's the way they do things. But I bet you can't eat just one.
I don't think so. I
they're
like that.
very good. They're very good. So
And they're gluten-free,
yeah.
non-GMO. I mean, I think they're great.
Yeah,
Quick, easy, throw them in the oven. We didn't fry anything.
done deal.
Yes.
Kids, time to eat.
Which reminds me, it is time to eat.
It is. It's time,
It's time to say goodbye.
and we'll see you next time in the kitchen. Hey, Mark Anthony here for another medical moment. I'm talking about the doctor of the day, and I've got a great doctor for you today. One of my favorites of all time is T. Colin Campbell. And if you don't know enough about him, I'm going to give you a quick little insight about him because he is one of the best. And he's actually part of the Center for Nutrition Studies. And the actual website, let me share this with you, is nutritionstudies.org. Nutrition, nutritionstudies.org. And let me tell you, T. Colin Campbell is part of the Center for Nutrition Studies. And he has done so many things. It's just amazing. So just take a look at the site here. He's got a pretty modern looking site. It's got some style to it and everything. And so I like that. Up here he's got articles. He's got recipes. I'm not sure about these guys' recipes. Usually when I run into recipes, I'm finding out that they don't have much flavor. That's what I'm here for, to give you recipes that have flavor. And most of these recipes are probably pretty good bases to start with. As far as health, you just need to design them, blast them with a bunch of flavor, and you'll be fine. He's got some courses here which are really interesting because we want to look at more of these courses. Plant-based nutrition certifications. Continuing education's enrollment and graduates. In fact, we want to send Melody Prettyman to go to this plant-based nutrition certification program. Plant-based newsletters, books, videos, the China study reference, and then About Us too. And About Us, they've got a whole bunch. Donate, the board, the staff. So it's a nonprofit organization. And I think I'll just go down here to the books. So this is what I want to talk to you about, is the books, because I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the China study, and which is a fabulous book that showed the cultures and how they change health-wise based on the food that they were provided. If they did have milk and dairy products, they became unhealthy. You eliminated those animal products, and the cultures became extremely healthy. And so it's a very, very compelling book. But here's a couple other ones for you too. The China Study All-Star Collection. There's your recipes. Down here, Whole. Here's the book I want to talk about. Whole, right here. And I'm just starting to read this book. But it's got a whole bunch of information that shows you there's a huge difference between eating something that's whole and eating something that's broken down, in that manufacturing and processing stages. And it also talks about how scientists will break down things to say, you need this, when you really don't. But we need the whole message and the whole situation. And then I love this too, because he's got another one called The Low Carb Fraud. because, and I've talked about this for years, and finally people are starting to come out with some intelligent books about it, because the whole world is stay away from carbs, and that's what you need to be eating. You need to be eating more carbs. And I'm not talking about these processed carbs. I'm talking about complex carbohydrates like potatoes and rice and beans, and your natural carbs that you get out of fruits and vegetables and grains, and your plant strong carbs. And so between those two books, I haven't read this one, but I'm going to have to read that one. And of course, he's got the Starch Solution, which is Dr. McDougall's book here, and the China Study, Forks Over Knives. So the list goes on and on. Definitely a go-to person if you want to learn how to eat a healthy life and learn how to live a healthier life. T. Colin Campbell, the Center for Nutrition Studies, and the website nutritionstudies.org. So Mark Anthony here to just show you another validation from another doctor proving that a plant-strong lifestyle is the healthiest lifestyle you could possibly be on. And you're going to live a longer life, you're going to live a healthier life, and you're going to live a life without all those drugs and without all those aches and pains in your older years. I mean, it is a win-win-win in every way, shape, and form to get on that plant-strong lifestyle. So, Mark Anthony, enjoy, and we will see you next time. Hey, Mark Anthony here, and I'm with Abigail Fortier, and what are we doing today? Because you've got a recipe with a whole bunch of fun stuff here.
We're doing a tropical island salad.
Tropical island salad, okay.
Thing, yeah.
Fruit salad.
Yeah.
Yeah, fruit salad.
Pretty much.
What do you got here? You got some ingredients?
I got peaches, I got pineapple, I got mandarin oranges,
Okay.
and I got some sour cream.
Okay.
And almonds, and marshmallows, and coconut, macadamia nuts, and maraschino cherries.
Okay, got it. And what's the process here?
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put the peaches in here,
Okay.
and then the pineapple.
And it's okay to have that juice in there?
If you like,
Probably don't want a lot though,
I'm gonna have
because you already drained all these.
Yeah. I'm gonna have you.
Coming at me with a knife. I've got it on camera. You all saw it.
Okay, so when I'm done with putting all these in, you're gonna squirt half of the lime juice, like from half of it.
Now those marshmallows right there. In fact, let me bust a few of them up here. See how they're all sticking together? I had
Cut them.
I got the recipe. Abby sends me the recipes, and I get the recipes from her. And I couldn't find the little marshmallows that were vegan. See, everything we do is vegan. So I've got these Dandy. These are dairy-free, but I couldn't get the little ones. So we took the big ones and just chopped them up. That's how you improvise in the kitchen, right? Overcome and adapt. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. If I mix these right now,
They won't stick as much.
right, then they won't stick together. Yeah, see, once you get them separated, then they'll be fine. Hopefully. At least it sounded good on paper, right? Okay, there you go.
Okay, now I'm gonna add just a few almonds for right now.
Okay. And you want some lime juice in there.
Yeah. Put half now and then half later.
Okay.
Okay, and I'm gonna put some of this sour cream in here.
Okay, want me to stir? What's your... So it's kind of like an ambrosia salad.
Can you pass me the macadamia nuts?
Ooh. Oh, you got some hiding over here. Macadamia nuts.
I'm gonna put some of these in here.
That's a nice little surprise for people, huh?
It brings out the Hawaiian-ness.
They're not gonna expect that.
Put some more almonds in there.
When I went to Hawaii doing some cooking classes, we had a guy over there that had a machine that would crack the macadamia nuts open and then out would come the nut from the inside. Really noisy. It was like bing, 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 bing. And you had to sit there and really feed them one at a time. And so he was like, he had all these trees, and he said, whatever you, get, you can keep. So I brought back like 10 big bags of macadamia nuts. And
You brought some over to us.
yeah, I think I did, didn't I? You wanted some coconut, right?
Yep.
We doing a lot, little?
That's good.
Okay. Okay.
I'll let you stir this.
So,
And then once we're done with it, you can just put in the rest of the lime.
I think you're there. I think you're there. Yeah, and it's actually kind of. I think you're there. Does it look good to you?
Mm-hmm.
A little more lime, you say?
Yep.
Okay. But I think you're there. This is looking good. Get these out of the way.
Yep.
Okay. I'll switch with you. Okay, so we're gonna try to get this in here without making a mess. Grab me that big bowl over there too, that one, yeah. Because we can do this a couple different ways.
Right here I have some toasted coconut and I have some maraschino cherries. And these are just for garnish.
You know what, those maraschino cherries, they're actually yellow cherries. Yeah. Yeah, we went out picking cherries here a couple days ago, and they're yellow cherries, and that's what they can dye, different colors. So you can do red ones or green ones or whatever you want to do.
Interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was neat too. In fact, I talked to the farmer, and he said I could come over and do some recordings, so we're gonna get over there when the next season comes up for cherry picking and do some recordings with him.
They look kind of like a sundae.
Okay, and I think that's about it here too.
Toasted coconut.
And you put some coconut on top. How cool is that? So here's another simple, fast, easy recipe that you don't even have to try it. I know it's going to taste great. I like the toasted coconut in it. It really makes it. Did you want to bite?
Sure.
Go ahead. She keeps staring at it like, pass me that fork, please. Taking one more bite. Well, since I'm bigger, I think we'll go like that. We're gonna dig in, and we'll see you next time in the kitchen. Hey everybody, Mark Anthony here, just doing a little more of my biblical homework. I'm going to have to come up with a name for these little biblical segments that I have, biblical knowledge and beyond or something. But I love reading the Bible, and I love looking at things through another set of eyes instead of my own. Look at the world through God's eyes instead of your own. You'd be a lot better off. But the bottom line here, I see all this people that actually believe they are saved by faith. And well, after all, isn't that what the Bible says, that we are saved by faith? That's true. The problem is, in society, people actually believe that it's their faith that's saving them. Well, I have faith, so I'm saved. Well, let me tell you something. If your faith is what saves you, then what do you need a Savior for? Aha! See? Oh, now it's getting deep. Bottom line is, your faith cannot save you. The saving faith that the Bible talks about is the faithfulness of Christ, the covenant that He has with us. That is the saving faith. We've got to understand these type of biblical, foundational, truths. Because you cannot save yourself. It's not your faith that's saving you. But society wants to be arrogant. They want to, I can, me, and my faith is what saves me. And it's not that way. You cannot save yourself. And the saving faith is the faith that Christ has. That is the saving faith. We need faith ourselves, absolutely. But that is not the saving faith that the Bible talks about. So I just thought I'd share this one with you, and I could go on for a whole hour just about faith. But keep your faith and allow the understanding to know that it's not your faith that's saving you, but it's Christ's faith, the covenant that He has with us. So, amen. And we'll see you next time. Just a reminder, the books are available on my website at chefmarkanthony.com. We've got my Vegan Simplicity book right here, which is available. We also have Simply Yummy, Melody Prettyman's really good cookbook. I have that available on the website. Of course, the Simply Incredible. This is a 400-page full-color cookbook. And I mean, let me tell you, this baby is just gorgeous and gives you a lot of concepts about how to cook. So once you learn the concept, then you could run with a lot of different recipes. Plus, our newest addition is the Baby Steps to an Amazingly Healthier You. And this just came out this year. It's a brand new DVD, 12 parts. Look at this. This has actually 4 DVDs inside. It's a 12-part DVD and gives you a lot of really good insight about how to take baby steps to get healthy. Plus, you get a lot of good cooking segments in there too. So, Mark Anthony, we'll see you next time.
I'm sorry, Mark. I'm still laughing chicken pot pie, and I don't care. Oh, Jimmy Crack Corn, you are out of your mind sometimes. You know what, though? I do like we were answering that question from that email you got about one pot dishes.
Are we back on? Or?
Well, sure, we're back on.
Oh. You're just talking on,
Just here. Hang on.
We love to have fun in the kitchen. Yeah.
Where's that nail?
Yeah. Well, what I hear is that there's going to be a lot of people with red heads in heaven because they're all going to be sitting there saying, if I would have known. Right? But yeah. So anyway, that email about the pot pie, the one, not the chicken pot pie, but the one pot skillet,
one pot meal.
Yeah.
But there are so many things. I mean, really, you can take breakfast, for instance. You can make your scrambled tofu. You can dump your hash browns right in.
That's exactly the
there,
word I was thinking of.
And you can put your cheese sauce in with it, and you've got a meal. You could take your chilies and do the same thing. And I use rice and mushrooms a lot of time.
Soups are
huge.
Big for one pot.
Yes,
just
they
put
are.
it all in there,
Stews.
make it thicker, makes it heartier. But soups are really big.
Rice casseroles.
Casseroles. Just throw it all in a pan
and
throw it. That's where you need those Salad Master pans too, because you can just take the handle off, throw it right in the oven.
I like
really
those.
Good. Yeah.
Those are really good. More questions.
We just ran out of time today, though.
I know. More questions. More comments. I love this. I love the interaction from you guys. I wish you were here in the studio. We need to do that.
We're working on that.
We need to get
I've
some of
got
our
plans for
people
that to
into
get
the studio.
when we do our remodel. We're going to have actual places for people to sit at and everything. So,
Good.
anyway, that's our show for today. Thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you check out the website. Of course, we've got our YouTube channel, which is getting very popular. Books are available on the website, and donations are always appreciated. And share this with your friends and family so they too can help get healthy intelligently and have fun at the same time. At least if you're watching us, you're having fun. Amen. And we'll see you next time.